the ball over twice. What was the bigger headline for you, Nick? The Bears win or the Eagles loss?
The Eagles loss. Because I have a lot of respect for what the Bears are doing and what they're building. I know Wilds might be like wildly offended by this comp, but I feel about the Bears very similarly to how I feel about the Patriots. Like, this is an awesome 2-year leap in 1 year with the new head coach, with the young quarterback you're building around. They have, one's 9-3, one's 10-2. They've done it very different ways. Mm-hmm. You know what but I don't view either of those teams as likely. They wouldn't be, neither one of them would be one of the first 6 teams I would list as going to win the Super Bowl. And I know you might disagree on the Patriots part.
Once you go into Philadelphia and win, though, I think it's gotta just
again. And so I'm saying the same about the Bears Patriots. Like, I just think probably a little soft schedule, but a couple good wins, whatever it is. To me, the story is Philly losing a game. You can't lose the way they lost it. You can't lose that game because Ben Johnson just runs all over you. You can't lose KW. This is what I thought was going to be your focus. We spent more time on this show talking about Ben Johnson mocking the tush push than anything than we've talked about the Stanley Cup Finals in the 8 years the show's been on. And the Eagles got the ball taken from them on the tush push. And if you were listening to the broadcast, this was the other stunning piece of it that maybe we should talk about more later this week. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit saying, we think Jalen Hurts would vote against the tush push. If you guys had the sound on, if you were listening, He was like, it was really interesting listening to Jalen talk about it. He made it very clear, I was great at it before they started pushing me. And then Michaels says, I think that if it were up to him, the Eagles would be one of the teams to vote to ban it. So, like, the play they love more than anything, they get the ball taken from them. The broadcasters reveal the quarterback don't even like it. The offense isn't working. Like, I think it's fair to be worried about what the hell's going on in Philadelphia, bro.
I think a lot of your points are valid. It is a big story both ways, but to me, the bigger story is the Bears win. Because I just did not believe in the Bears. Like you said, their schedule was weak. Yep. Caleb's not playing great. He's doing fine, But I think now, like, I felt like the Bears were the third best team in the NFC North. I thought the Packers and Detroit were on a different level than them. Now I'm feeling like, you know what, Detroit is probably going to be the team out in that division. Now, they play each other, so, you know, they can determine their own fates. But I think now, while I would not expect the Bears to get to the Super Bowl, going into Philly, as you said, with the Eagles coming off a tough loss, with them knowing their history of, man, we can't let this thing keep rolling like this or it could be 2023 all over again, and getting that win. And the thing I like about the Bears, Greg, they don't go as Caleb goes. Like, the good thing about him, he does not turn the ball over. I know he had an interception in this game, I think another turnover, but he does not generally turn the ball over. So he might not throw for a ton of yards or touchdowns or anything, but they can move with him because he's not committing turnovers. And if he does make some big plays, even if he's having a bad game. And so if he does have a really good game, it takes them to another level. And so I think they impressed me. I mean, I was not expecting them to win that game, especially in dominant fashion. So that was the bigger story to me.
Yeah, it was definitely a big story the way they were able to run the ball. But it's the Eagles. Like, the Eagles' defense had been playing lights out.
Yeah.
And completely got bullied, manhandled at the line of scrimmage by this Bears offensive line. And again, the Bears can run the ball better than almost every team in the league, with the exception, I mean, they're second in rushing. But when you watch the Eagles, like, we already knew they had issues offensively. Now you're telling me if we run a zone run game scheme against you, the Rams did it and had great success, that now they end up losing that game, but they had great success running the ball. The Bears did it and just continued to do it, and they weren't gashing them for like 20, 50 yards. It was like 8,
chunk.
9, 6, 9. Like, that is alarming.
Okay, so I want to talk about this because going into this game, I said that if the Eagles lose, it'll be about the Eagles, right? The story will be more about the Eagles losing than the Bears winning, because that's just how it works. The Eagles just won the Super Bowl, and they have not been playing well this season, right? They've been winning games, but they have not been playing well. Their offense has been a mess. We could say that their defense has been lights out, but then it gets torched in the second half by the Cowboys, got torched by the New York Giants and Jackson Dart. Like, it's been wonky, right? It's this team has been all over the place, and they're the reigning Super Bowl champions, right? So like that's just where the focus goes. And I read a comment right before I watched this clip where someone said, "Oh, the Bears are being disrespected right now. Everyone's talking about that the Eagles losing this game than the Bears. It's disrespect." And it's like, it's not disrespect. It makes sense. It's how this works, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, it was a bigger story that they lost to the Dallas Cowboys rather than the Dallas Cowboys winning. That's just how it is. It's not everything is disrespect at all. So that's just the way it goes. But the reality is like, for me, I always like to try to play these games as well too. When you're just like, what's the bigger story? And I do appreciate that you back yourself into a corner and you're forced to kind of answer the question, because that's how you have conversations. That's entertainment. For me, it's very much 50-50. It's very much 50-50. Similar to how the Super Bowl was last year. What was the bigger story? The Kansas City Chiefs losing and getting dominated, or the Philadelphia Eagles dominating the Kansas City Chiefs? I think it was both. And the reality is, you can always look at these things through different lens, right? You could say the Eagles lost this game or the Bears won this game, and both perspectives are valid. It's why I constantly talk about the different lenses that we can view things through, because they can both be valid. And a lot of times I'll say, but like, which is the more appropriate in this situation? And the reality is right now, for me, it's 100% 50-50, because especially the Bears being the 1 seed right now, and their massive turnaround that they had from last season into this season, that makes it a massive story. And that these wins aren't accidental, and you're not even getting the best version of Caleb Williams. You're just not. I think Caleb has played okay to good this year. He has not been great. He has not been elite. He has not been special. And yet you're still having the levels of success that you're having. That's remarkable, and that's coaching. And when your team is built on the backbone of elite coaching, you are so resilient. As long as you don't have a mess of a roster and a mess of a quarterback, you are going to win a ton of games. And when you have a good enough roster and you have a good enough quarterback, you are going to be a Super Bowl contender / winner year after year after year after year. And so that then becomes a big story as well. Beating the Eagles right now is not that shocking, considering how this team has played. The Eagles' inability to do things offensively is not that shocking. You can say it was shocking how they were able to run the ball so well against this Philadelphia Eagles team, and it was, but not with Ben Johnson as the coach. If it was the Pittsburgh Steelers or something, then I could say okay. But this wasn't about bullying, and I'm not going to re-show the clip because I've already showed it now like 4 times. This wasn't about bullying the D-line and the O-line, bullying them. Like, that's actually not giving the Bears enough credit. That's not giving the coaching enough credit. People think that it's like, when you say that, you're not giving the Bears enough credit. When you say it the other way, the way how I say it, and it's like, no, you guys got it backwards, saying, oh, they just bullied them. It's like, no, this was a brilliant game plan. This was brilliant play calling. This was brilliant scheming. That's what this was. This was the genius of Ben Johnson on full display, which is so much more resilient and so much more profound than just saying the Bears bullied the Eagles, right? So don't get it twisted. And so that becomes a massive story. And when you can control the game, the entire game, and have your quarterback not particularly play great. Yeah, he had a really nice throw for a touchdown, but like, he wasn't great. He wasn't spectacular. He wasn't elite. He wasn't special. The story of the day wasn't Caleb Williams. The fact that they ran the ball like 47 times, I think it was, for like, you know, a gajillion yards. It was a Ben Johnson special. And so you continue to get more and more evidence of just how great Ben Johnson is and what he offers this team. And how I told you guys when Ben Johnson came to this team, I said, this is Ben Johnson's team. This is not Caleb Williams' team. This is not anyone else's team. This is Ben Johnson. He is the Chicago Bears. And that if this team doesn't go, isn't successful, if they're not winning, it's like Ben Johnson will stay. Caleb Williams will go. Like, this is Ben Johnson. And honestly, it's a better place to be in. You are more resilient. You have more longevity. When you are less quarterback dependent on being great or being special, the sky is the absolute limit. Okay? It's why Shanahan can win with Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo. It's why Andy Reid can win with Alex Smith, Donovan McNabb, Gardner Minshew, whoever, and of course, Patrick Mahomes, right? Bill Belichick, a little bit more quarterback reliant. Lost Tom Brady, didn't necessarily look the same, right? Couldn't find his way through it. It matters. Sean McVay's like, give me Goff, give me Baker, give me Jimmy. Like, he can kind of win and have success with anyone. You're obviously going to reach different levels depending on how good a quarterback is. Andy Reid's going to be a better coach with Mahomes than he is Alex Smith. But when you have the coach who can just win any type of way you possibly need, you're going to be great. You're going to be special. If you're so quarterback reliant and you don't have that great coach that can take things to the next level, best case scenario, you end up like the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Cincinnati Bengals. How's that working out for them? Oh, not good? Got it. Makes sense. So that to me ends up being, really the absolute home run, and something that you should really, really hang your hat on if you are a Chicago Bears fan. That this was just a massive example of, boy, coaching matters in the NFL, and boy, do we got one of the best coaches right now. That's the answer right there. That to me is everything. And you look at the Eagles and you go, boy, this is a perfect example of why coaching matters. And guess what? You don't got it right now. And that is why you are where you're at right now. This is the way I see it. Just the way I see it. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Chicago Bears? What do you think the bigger story was, the Bears win or the Eagles loss? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.